Hello, everybody. Welcome into another edition of Talking Fitchburg. It is Friday, May 29th, 2020. I'm Jeremy Crosby. Hope you had a wonderful day, a dry day out there, even some sunshine. It's nice to wake up to some sunshine, isn't it? And cooler temperatures as well. We kind of got a really early taste of hot and humidity this past week, and now it cools off at least into the weekend as it slowly climbs. The heat, it's going to climb. At least that's what I saw in the forecast. And you can check the forecast from the National Weather Service and Milwaukee Sullivan. They'll keep you up to date on what's happening there over the weekend. No severe weather like last weekend. There was some severe weather in the area. This weekend looks very nice out there, so we hope you get outside and enjoy it. And we're going to talk about going outside specifically today in the show. We'll talk about preventing mosquito bites. Yeah, fight the bite. Dane County's way of helping spread information about protecting yourselves against mosquitoes. We'll talk about if mosquito bites will carry COVID-19 strand as well. So lots of information to get to here today. Plus, we'll check in with my friend Andrea over at Hy-Vee, and she's going to be talking about the Mediterranean diet. Yeah, have you ever tried a Mediterranean diet before? It's pretty darn cool, and you can hear my son. He's upset because he has not tried it before. So we'll share the details with him coming up. You got to love the at-home stuff here. If you've been listening to a lot of the interviews, you've been hearing the kids chatter in the background. It's been really fun. All right, let's kick things off here with Dane County COVID-19 update. I wanted to share some of the information that's come out of the recent numbers. As of this morning, there are 713 people who have tested positive for COVID-19 in Dane County. That's up 27 from yesterday's update. 14 of these new positive cases are from community test sites. 3 are from VA hospital, and 10 are from other sites, such as doctors' offices, hospitals, and clinics. This week, new case numbers have been higher than in past weeks. We have also had more testing. On Monday, we will update the percent of the tests that have been positive. This is an important indicator in our forward Dane metrics. The numbers of tests per day and the numbers of positive tests per day fluctuate greatly. So sharing percent positivity each day isn't particularly helpful. Instead, we look at the percent positivity over a 2-week period to get a better sense of the trends. So as of May 22nd, our 14-day percent positivity was 1%. 1%. So we'll keep you up to date on the tests. Remember that you can get free testing over at Alliant Energy Center Monday through Saturday. And they have extra hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and that runs through the middle of June. And if you need the latest recommendations, visit the website for guidance and resources, Public Health, Madison, and Dane County. They will hook you up there with the latest information. All right, over to the Fitchburg Senior Center. They've got a new thing coming up. We had the drive-by parade at the Fitchburg Senior Center. Now we have the drive-by luncheon. Check this out, the drive-by luncheon featuring lunch from Oasis Cafe, sponsored by the Fitchburg Senior Center Friends, will be on June 17th. It's 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Senior Center's main entrance is where you'll be coming to pick up your favorite sandwiches or grain bowls and a cookie. And the cost for that meal is $10. So pretty cool, pretty affordable. And they have a lot of other choices there that you can see on your screen. You do need to call the reg and get reserve your meal. That's 270-4290 by Friday, June 12th. Yeah, if you want to participate in this. And then, of course, all safety measures will be taking place here as you come and pick up that food at the Senior Center. So it sounds like we're going to be keep doing this here coming up. So very excited that they're focusing on the local businesses and also checking in with their folks down at the Senior Center. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Also, farmers market vouchers and distribution. There's been a slight change to the distribution this year due to the COVID-19. Distribution of the farmers market vouchers will begin on July 1st. The AAA of Dane County offers vouchers to seniors for the use of purchasing $25 worth of fruit and vegetables or herbs at farmers markets. The qualifiers for this program, you can contact Elise Miller at 608-261-5678 for more details. And of course, always check in at our Senior Center as well if you have any questions. All right, we talked with Jeff Doslick about this earlier this week in our update with Fitroni EMS, but this message was also printed in the Senior Center newsletter, and it says here, don't hesitate to call 911 for medical emergencies. Yeah, with the intense focus on COVID-19, leaves many wondering how to handle medical emergencies or unrelated to the virus. But, says Jeff Doslick, Deputy Chief of Fitchburg EMS and friend of this show, medical emergencies haven't stopped for COVID-19, and treatment for these emergencies should not be delayed. When should you seek medical care? Well, these indicators: chest pain, pressure or tightness, trouble breathing or shortness of breath, confusion or changes in mental status, numbness or weakness on one side, slurred speech, sudden trouble walking or loss of balance, sudden vision changes, and severe stomach pain. Preventing the spread of COVID-19 should be a priority, but it shouldn't take priority over your health, reminds Deputy Chief Doslick. Yeah, if you have any type of medical emergency under this realm, you should call EMS right away. You shouldn't hesitate for that. There is great safety measures, not only that Fitchburg EMS is practicing, but the hospitals are practicing. So there may be some fears about going in and being exposed to COVID-19. The safety precautions are there and have worked very well. So please don't hesitate to call. If you have any questions, you can always still pick up and call your doctor's office or their urgent care lines to find out more. All right, switching gears here to mosquitoes. With the rainfall recently, I don't know what's on your minds out there, but mine is mosquitoes. Maybe because I live in a place that has a lot of mosquitoes. So we've had a lot of rainfall recently. Mosquitoes lay their eggs in standing water. So now is the time to walk around the home and dump out those flower pots, buckets, and anything else that's been collecting rainwater. Andrew, I think at Andrew's house, the boys probably do this on a regular basis, dump all the water out that they collect. But you need to go around the house and do that. And coming up, we'll talk about how to fight the bite with some tips from Dane County Public Health here. We'll share those with you here in just a little bit of time. All right, finally on our headlines today, the BBB wants to warn you about new college grads to watch out for some of these scams. Some of the stuff we've actually talked about with Department of Ag, Trade, Consumer Protection, but this is a good reminder for you, and especially graduates that have loans already and are wondering about the COVID-19, starting all of those things. So first and foremost, know the terms of your student loans. One of the most common ways scammers target college graduates is with fake loan forgiveness opportunities. You may receive unsolicited emails, phone calls, or text messages stating that you qualify for a lower payment, though a debt through a debt forgiveness program. To use this company's service, just fill out the form and pay a fee. What? Some of these companies are real, but their pitch for their services with false claims and incomplete information. Other companies are fake. They're just hoping to collect your information. I can tell you, I've received this call many times. 4 minutes, folks. They'll take your identity just like that with some of the questioning that they do. They're very aggressive, and they don't sound legit. I can tell you that. By the time you get into 4 minutes into it, you're already shaking your head like, but that's just me for a guy who takes some of these calls, but you shouldn't do that, by the way. All right, know the terms of your student loan. I can see Michelle at Department of Ag, Trade, Consumer Protection shaking her head right now. Scammers may also contact college grads regarding the student loan repayment hiatus that's a response to COVID-19. In the United States, the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security, or CARES Act, is pausing student loan repayments through September 30th, 2020. Canada has also passed a similar measure. Scammers may claim to take advantage of the program, and you need to complete a form or pay a fee. In reality, that's not true. Student loan payments are automatically paused at this time. If you got any questions on this, you can contact your loan provider, and that would be the best way to prevent yourself from being scammed. And that's, if you want to learn any more about avoiding scams, you can visit bbb.org for more information. We love these guys. It's been a great partnership to work with them, sharing some great information. All right, we got to take a quick break. Coming up next, I'm opening up the digest with Fight the Bite. It's next right here on Talking Fitchburg.
score, we're going to the playoffs.
I can't believe I missed that.
Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone.
What? I should take your phone away.
No. I'll call for a ride.
Hey, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine.
I'm gonna need that back.
No.
Kevin!
Gaining weight was easy. All I had to do was sit down and eat. Losing weight's a lot harder. I have to work at it every day. But with every step, I lower my risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And that makes every step, every choice, every day very much worth the effort.
Learn how you can help stop diabetes by losing weight, eating healthy, and staying active. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES.
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
Julia, are you ready to play band with us? I'm gonna play my clarinet.
And Elmo's gonna play his drum. Drum loud.
Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
Mm-hmm. With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music. Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg in the Fitchburg Digest, and we're talking about those pesky mosquitoes. Yeah, I just hit one right before we went to break. My arm's still a little sore. Fight the bite. Now that we've had some of that rainfall here, it's time to think about mosquitoes. And maybe the mosquitoes have been out. You know, I've seen them come and go. But we want to make sure that you stay safe as we head into the summertime here. So let's get right into this. And Andrew has prepped some great information here, all coming from the Public Health of Madison and Dane County. So you can go out there and find all of these resources. We're just going to skim off the top here on some of the information that's available out there. So why are we concerned about mosquitoes? Have you forgot about West Nile virus? Remember Zika? Yeah, these mosquitoes that transmit diseases like West Nile, the primary targeted mosquito species of this annual surveillance is the Culex mosquito. Is that how you say that, Andrew? Culex? A species since it can cause West Nile virus infection in humans. So it's something that can be passed on, you know, human to human to human. And this is the mosquito that's present in Dane County. So you hear about that all the time. Also, the Zika virus is carried by the by a different mosquito. This mosquito was found in a small number in Dane County in the summer of 2017. Doesn't mean that Zika virus is here, and there is no evidence of a mosquito-transmitted Zika virus in Dane County, but the Public Health of Madison and Dane County and the UW Medical Entomology Lab continues to monitor for its presence. Yeah, there could be birth defects with that Zika virus. West Nile virus also can be a deadly one if not caught early on. So talking about prevention here, prevention is kind of where it's at, right? So use the EPA registered insect repellents with one of the most effective ingredients below, DEET. Yeah, now DEET, I mean, this is going to be up in the air. These are recommendations. You got to pick and choose, you know, how much. There's different amounts of DEET too. Like you've got deep wood spray, so it might have more in the DEET area versus just your general bug spray. But either way, you've got oil from eucalyptus and we've got other pieces there as well. Also in the prevention piece, tips for babies and children. Dress your children in clothing that covers their arms and legs. Cover strollers and baby carriers with mosquito netting. When you're using insect repellent on a child, always follow the label instructions. Do not use products containing oil of lemon or eucalyptus or this paramethanediol on children under the age of 3 years old. My kids are just beating that down. They don't like it at all. Tips for babies and children as well. Do not apply insect repellent to kids' hands, eyes, mouth, cuts, or irritated skin. Adults spray insect repellent onto your hands and then wipe that, apply that to the children's face if you are going to do it. But please, please, please check the label before you use that on your children. Always follow the product label instructions and reapply insect repellent as directed. Do not spray repellent on skin under clothing. If you are also using sunscreen, apply sunscreen first, then insect repellent. But that's just a bad day if you have to put sunscreen on and insect repellent. That doesn't sound like a lot of fun to me, but I digress. Also here, natural insect repellents are out there. They're not registered, though, with the EPA, so something to keep in mind. We do not know the effectiveness of the non-EPA registered insect repellents, including some of the natural repellents. Protect yourself against diseases spread by mosquitoes. CDC and the EPA recommend using an EPA registered insect repellent. So choose a EPA registered repellent. Ensures that the EPA has evaluated the product for effectiveness. Visit EPA website to learn more. So no guarantees on any of those things. Overall, we got to think about the time of day that we're going out and what we're wearing, right? So if you know you're going into a heavy wooded area, then wear long sleeve shirts and long pants. Use a paraffin or treat clothing with gear such as boots, pants, socks, and tents. And you can buy this clothing and gear. And it seems like that's a better preventative measure that you can use to protect yourself. I think wearing the long clothes is a big one, especially at morning and nights. Take steps to control mosquitoes indoors and outdoors. Use screens on windows and doors. Repair holes in your screens to keep the mosquitoes outdoors. Use air conditioning if available. Stop mosquitoes from laying eggs in or near water. So make sure you dump out all of those items such as, buckets, shrubs, you name it. Get that water dumped out, pool toys, whatever the case may be. We have a water table for the kids. I dump that out all the time. I'm not going to even take a chance for that. And then, make sure that once a week we already got all those. So, simple prevention. I'm jumping ahead there myself. Prevent mosquito bites when traveling overseas. Choose a hotel or lodging with air conditioning or screens on the windows and doors. Sleep under a mosquito bed net if you're outdoors in a room that does not have screens. And you can buy a bed net at your local outdoor store or online before traveling overseas. So if you're going to somewhere where they don't have, that type of shelter, it's probably going to be a pretty crazy trip. So you probably should buy some of that stuff. All this stuff, like I said, is online and available for you. Just remember that mosquito bites can make you sick, folks. And by using some of these tips, you can make yourself prevent yourself from feeling sick there. That's the big takeaway here today. So, do your part. Choose the particular times of day when you're going out, and knowing when you're going out, whether it's early morning or late night, that you have the chance for getting bit by a mosquito, then it's time to use the protectants, and these are some great tips. Glad we go over it annually here on Talking Fitchburg. All right, we need to take a quick break. Coming up next, talking with my friend Andrea, registered dietitian with Hy-Vee. Have you heard of the Mediterranean diet? We'll talk about it next right here on Talking Fitchburg.
I expected it to be a lot easier.
I thought it was going to be a piece of cake. I didn't know what step to take next.
I was transitioning from the military.
I was a vehicle gunner.
An avionics specialist.
I was an MP, military police.
My friends thought I could do anything.
I missed my unit, my family.
Playing with my daughter, I felt like a stranger.
I was overwhelmed.
I couldn't sleep.
I just wanted to be by myself.
I didn't have a clear sense of what to do next.
I was too proud. And then I thought, if I'm going through this, other veterans have gone through it too,
right?
I started to open up.
And it made a huge difference.
So I reached out, and I saw that I wasn't alone.
Because before I was able to take on my next mission, I had to take on just taking care of myself.
To find purpose.
We are not alone. Other veterans have transitioned from the military and overcome mental health challenges. Visit MakeTheConnection.net.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining us today is our favorite registered dietitian and certified dietitian. It's Andrea Miller. Hey, Andrea, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm tongue twisted, but very excited to talk about this Mediterranean diet month.
Good.
Because I am desperately in need of something new to cook for the family, and this just brings spring and summer. I don't know personally, but
yes,
very excited to talk about this. Let's learn a little bit about this, and we'll start with the health benefits to eating the Mediterranean diet.
Yes. So the American Heart Association recommends this diet to help with preventing. It can prevent heart attacks, stroke. So those are two biggies that can be preventable. It can also contribute to brain health. It can be beneficial for those with type 2 diabetes. So those are just some of the benefits that this eating plan can help with.
Well, those are two big areas in the U.S. For deaths, unfortunately, especially in the heart world. And this is coming from a guy who's not in shape, so he totally understands that and needs to listen to you today. If someone wanted to start eating this diet, where would be a good place to start?
Sure. Yeah, that's a great question. So what's interesting about this diet, we in the United States like to compartmentalize things and package them as diets. When actually the Mediterranean diet per se is more so a lifestyle, or kind of thinking of it more of as an eating pattern. So it's really not following a strict set of rules, which is one of the components that makes this way of eating so popular and successful, is because you don't have to follow strict rules. So what somebody who's kind of looking at this to get started, it's basically looking at the base of this eating pattern is fruits, vegetables, legumes, which are lentils, beans, dried peas, that category. Lots of fruits and vegetables and whole grains. So that's kind of the base of the eating pattern. So what someone could look at is how much of those foods do we consume already? And if the answer is not a lot, maybe you start a little bit at a time, dabbling in categories of those foods. If you're looking at, maybe we should start including more fruits and vegetables. Maybe we don't do beans at all, and we start doing that once or twice a week. So that's kind of where I would start, is with the foundation of that eating plan.
Well, that's good to hear, because you're kind of thinking I'm going to have to just clear up my cabinet and get started with something brand new. But yeah, a lot of these things I would guess that people are doing. If you're looking for recipes and stuff, where could we find some of those recipes or basic recipes? Because I'm thinking, for a guy like me getting started making something in that front, where would I begin on that?
Yeah, and if you're not used to cooking with beans or lentils and wouldn't even know where to start, it's always great to have a recipe in front of you. So one of the resources on our website, on our hiv.com website, there's a tab right at the top that says recipes and ideas. If you click into there, you have an option to search recipes by theme or topic. You could type in salmon and get salmon recipes, or you could type in the word Mediterranean, and then you'll get recipes will load for Mediterranean style recipes.
Yeah, that's good to know. I think because you kind of want to, as you're putting this together and trying to figure out what you're going to be able to make, tying that in with the recipes they help. When I hear you say fish and stuff, I start to think of price. Is this an expensive way of eating? I don't want to even say diet, but expensive.
Yeah, that's a good question. So keep in mind, this way of eating is titled Mediterranean diet because it's related to the foods of the people in the countries that surround the Mediterranean Sea. So take into consideration, they're eating foods local to their region. So olive oil, for instance, probably isn't as expensive as it is here in the States, just because it's related to where they live and it's local for them, right? So what we can do is we can look at the different food groups and the balance of these food groups and apply it to our foods here in the United States.
Yeah, no, that's good to know, because Some of the fish prices, especially when it gets up to Wisconsin, can be a little bit difficult to get, which makes the price go up a little bit on that.
Right. And then with the oils, again, it's more focusing on plant-based oils. So maybe we do grapeseed oil or avocado oil or canola oil that is more, maybe a little bit less expensive here in the States.
Yeah, no, good information there. As far as the lifestyle, is there more than just food that's associated with this?
Yeah, so there's other components that contribute to this healthy eating pattern. That's not just about the food. So there's a lot of respect for planning a meal in advance. Preparing it, maybe even together, with your family, actually embracing the process of preparing and planning for meals where we tend to consider it a chore. Those that follow the Mediterranean style of eating, it's a little bit more of a relaxed atmosphere where they don't get too worried about, counting their calories and do they have every vitamin and mineral. They focus more on variety and color and flavor and enjoying their food.
We kind of talked a little bit about recipes, but if we were trying to plan for this, is there some other books and resources out there that can help us steer us in the right direction here?
Sure. So certainly, if somebody would like a little bit more focus instead of just saying, eating the food groups, you can certainly search whether you're at the library or searching online. You could search Mediterranean cookbook, you could search Mediterranean book, and you will get quite a few options. The nice thing is it's all going to be quite reputable. It's not a restriction type of diet. It's more so giving you ideas on ways to consume fruits and vegetables and beans, and using meat more so as an accessory in a smaller quantity versus it being the main event of your meal.
Well, from what I can gather, it's definitely a twist on the Wisconsin flavor of
yes.
diet, but I think it would be very interesting to try it out, and I'm betting that you would say baby steps into that you do try to make it successful.
Yes, and it's very doable. It's very manageable.
Fantastic. Andrea, thank you so much for sharing the information.
You're welcome.
I'm going to hit you up for some recipes right after we get off of it.
Great.
But yeah, stop on down and visit Andrea at any of the Hy-Vee locations here in the Fitchburg and Madison area, and we'll check in with her again right here on Talking Fitchburg. And we'll take a quick break. You are watching Talking Fitchburg. Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Wrapping up the show for the day. Want to thank our friend Andrea over at Hy-Vee helping us out, keeping her protected. We'll get her back on the show with some more great tips coming up the month of June. Dairy Month coming up. Who's excited for Dairy Month? This guy. So are my kids. They drink a ton of milk. We have to buy it. We buy it by like the truckload. And Andrew, tell me in my ear quick, Andrew, how many gallons of milk do you think you go through in a week? 4 gallons of milk in a week. That's crazy. Sometimes we've gotten up to probably 1.5 gallons per 5 guys. 7. 7 gallons. Yikes. That's a lot of milk. But yeah, I'm excited for Dairy Month, and we'll be talking about that on the show and a lot more. All right. To stay connected with Fact TV over the weekend or all the time. Love having you on here. Facebook, YouTube. Don't forget, we're on cable TV. We're on Apple TV, Roku, live streaming, the whole shebang. Have a great weekend.